Today I'm going to give you my first impressions on the Tier 7 Premium German Heavy Cruiser, Schill, which is now available in the game. As you can see, I've got it for 13 days on loan from Wargaming. And before we jump into the ship, which, by the way, this video is going to be played live as I'm recording the commentary, I'll try to do one or two games in the Schill. These won't be cherry-picked games. These will be literally the first two games I play in the ship, just to give you my first impressions, because we've got some limited time with this thing, and I don't think I'm going to be getting it back. I think that is, in fact, the first thing we should talk about. So how do you go about getting the Schill? Well, you got to navigate to the store, and the first thing you'll see there is this new crafting station. Here, you can exchange resources to go up this sort of tree where you can get Schill at the very end. You can also get some camos, a Tier 5 crate that will guaranteed drop you a Tier 5 premium ship, some insignias, and a commander guys. Anyway, let's take a look at how expensive this would be to get the Schill. And keep in mind, I am a community contributor for World of Warships Legends. I've been playing this game for 5 years straight, just about. And my account is, fairly wealthy. But if I wanted to get Schill, I'd have to put all of my premium days, or premium time toward it, minus 1 day, because it won't let you do the full 378, only 377. Then I'd have to put all of my 2,500, almost 2,600 promotion orders, all of my credits, and all of my global XP, and it still wouldn't be enough to go all the way up the tree and get the Schill. So I don't know exactly how much this thing is going to cost in terms of resources. All I can tell you is that I cannot afford it. So I bet there's a number of people out there who would say the same thing. Anyway, let's take a look at the ship's stats and then put a commander on and take it out. We'll look at the base stats real quick. So you got 52,400 HP. That's pretty good for a cruiser. That's like lower tier 5 battleship HP, maybe? 283 millimeter guns, Scharnhorst guns. 18-second reload, that's even a Scharnhorst reload. 15.6 km range is not very far. 8,400 AP, 3,200 HE, 20% fire chance. Got 10-kilometer torpedoes, okay. 64 knots, they reload in 90 seconds. 2 quadruple launchers, probably not very good AA. Maneuverability, very fast. Well, not very fast, 32.5 knots. There are faster cruisers at the tier, but that's nice to see. Small turning circle, really. Long rudder shift, though. And then 13 km on the base concealment. All right. Well, we'll put on our mods. Actually, did we look at the secondaries? They do have a 6 km range to begin with. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if we'll build this thing for secondaries or not. Aiming systems mod 1. We'll go with propulsion. Concealment. And probably, honestly, probably main battery range. Because I don't like 15.6 km range. This might not be the build I would fully recommend, but this is what we're going to start off with to test out the ship. Now let's see what we should use for the commander. I think ultimately we're going to go with Karl von Mueller. He's a free commander, everybody's got him, probably. And I might use somebody else like Azerlane Graf Spee instead. But for the purposes of these first impressions, let's just go with a commander that theoretically everybody has access to. Got Swirsky and McCallum on there. Take a brief look at the stats again. 18 kilometers is better for the range. Concealment at 10.6. A little bit more speed. All right. Well, let's take a look and see how this thing goes. Or how it plays, I suppose. Wow, very first game in the Schill, we're on the new map, Mountain Range. This is only the second time I've seen this map. And we are top tier? Alright, well, let's see how this goes. No CVs either, kinda nice to see. I think we'll switch to the AP to begin with, though. Should have taken a look at the armor. If I do end up playing a second game, which is possible, we'll take a look at the armor in between, or we'll take a look at the armor after this battle is over if it turns out this one's going to be a pretty good game and I don't feel the need to play a second. We'll see. But I think the armor is going to be pretty heavy. This thing is basically like a Graf Spee. I do own it on WoW's PC, and I think it's pretty fun. I'm hoping it'll be pretty fun in this game, but my team is abandoning this flank on this spawn for literally no reason, so that's good. We're already off to a great start here on this Monday. I don't know why you would abandon the flank like this. And the hybrid battleship sends out blind airstrike, which will hit nothing. Very good. And as we approach this alpha cap here, while our team is running away, I should point out we do have sonar, main battery reload booster, and a heal. This thing does have a nice little suite of consumables. Now, is there any ships out here? I think we'll go a little bit toward this corner, and if we don't spot anything, maybe we'll turn left and go right into A. Because obviously our team has abandoned this flank. The enemy hasn't quite. It's a Shores. Shores is not exactly a spooky ship. If he's the only thing around here... Well, there are 5 battleships. We see 3. There could be 1 or 2 around here. But they're not over here. And this might be a terrible idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to go into the cap and do the move I just said, but that's going to mean we're going to put our broadside in front of this island. So if there is like a battleship out here, we may come to regret this. Alright, well there's... No, that's all the battleships accounted for. I think it's just the Shores. Alright. Well, I guess we don't need any assistance. Our team abandoned this flank, and so did everybody else aside from the Shores. So we'll just go into the cap. Head back toward them. Hopefully pick up the Shores. Oh, I think he's in the cap. No radar, though. I could be a DD for all he knows. Probably be pretty dismayed to find out that I'm not. I don't think Shores has a lot of armor. I almost wonder if this thing can overmatch. Might be able to. And here's Shores. Maybe we can overmatch. That's 4 ricochets. Maybe I ought to build into the secondaries on this thing. Hopefully the Hawk can't really hit us. Oh, there's something else out here. Alright, well, we're gonna turn away. I don't think I need all this HE. Hopefully Shores will give us the goods. Maybe we can overmatch him. If he gives a more favorable angle, I'll probably use the reload booster. Secondaries are actually doing some damage. Oh, you know what, though? There he goes. Okay, yep, that hurts. Well, you certainly don't want to push into a bunch of HE spam and get lit on fire a bunch of times, but other cruisers beware. We're going to have to put this fire out and re-engage Shimanto. Probably could turn on the sonar, but may not be necessary. And we're going to have to heal again. Luckily, fire damage is pretty much 100% healable. But that was a good little opening sequence against Ashores. I mean, it's a tier 6 cruiser, so maybe not that impressive, and it's certainly not the most heavily armored cruiser known to man. At least we're pretty fast in this. We can get back into position rather quickly. Shimanto, I hope, will go forward. What did the enemy team do? Did they all run to the back of the map? We've got... I mean, it doesn't even matter that my team has abandoned this flank, apparently. I think Shimanto is going to come out broadside. It's going to be good. We can still heal a little bit. Really, and I'm spotted. Hopefully a BB can't get my broadside. Geez, every time they shoot, you get lit on fire. Oh, I thought he was reversing a little bit more. It's almost enough to kill him. I am going to turn on the sonar. I don't think he launched any torps, but you never know. I don't want to get caught by surprise. Yeah, there's the torps. Those might not have actually come from him. I think I'm actually going to perish. So we're going to have to wait and take this thing into a second match. Certainly it does get melted by the HE. Maybe we'll be able to survive this. Gotta heal. At least I think this will be a quick game if we do end up going down. Yeah, maybe we won't. But I think we will. And then I'll take this out and try maybe a secondary build with Azerlane Bismarck at the helm. Sort of like, what's it called? Schroeder. This could be an interesting, different type of thing than Schroeder. Schroeder's got bigger guns, but... might as well get the reload boost. Because I think we're going to perish if we don't. Might perish even if we do. Yeah, that's... well, Shimanto's dead. Good, good. We're almost dead ourselves, but the enemy team only has 4 ships left. They've been blown out a little bit. So I think this one's going to be a victory. We'll definitely play a second game, though, because this wasn't satisfying, but we did get a good look at what this can do to a cruiser like Shores. Almost at 1,000 points, though. Unfortunate for the red team. I don't know that my team necessarily deserved to win this by giving up a flank. Not good, tactically speaking, but this is a new map. I guess not many people know how to play it yet. And that's it. I think we get the fireproof medal. We should, after all that. And we're number 1 on the leaderboard, despite not doing really much of anything. It's pretty good. All right. Take a look at this armor viewer here. This looks pretty good. We got 27 30mm icebreaker. We've got 120mm belt armor, 27 upper belt, so that part can be overmatched. 30mm deck. Thing's pretty tanky for a tier 7 cruiser, certainly. Ooh, and it does have... you can see the turtleback slope here. I've got it highlighted, 60mm. But it's so steep, I don't think it's going to work like turtleback does. I don't think it's really going to protect you from taking citadels. And the citadel does sit above the water line. But with an angle that steep, I don't think I would count on this. Still, pretty heavily armored for a tier 7 cruiser. Let's modify the build then. Let's actually do a secondary build and see what we can get with that. If we got the secondary mod on there, we can use Azerlane Bismarck. I mean, anybody else would work if you don't have Azerlane Bismarck. Celiax would. You just need somebody with the Porcupine skill, at least. And we got Porcupine, Hipper, Mikawa. Same build I use for Schroeder. What do we get with that? Well, we lose a heal, but we do get 9 kilometers secondary range. I don't know that I like losing the heal. We could take this lady. Go with Master Mechanic. Or do we have Master Mechanic on? Yeah, we do. We have Master Mechanic and we only, oh no, we have 4 heals. I'm looking at the reload booster. I'm not awake this morning. Need more coffee. I don't know if I can even cut that out of the video. You might just have to see my brain not working. Anyway, we'll go with the, oh no, this is not a full secondary build. We'll go with a full secondary build. Nah, actually, we'll keep the main battery gun range on there. I don't want to cut that down. Well, we're on the Atlantic map in capture the base mode this time, so this could suck. But we're still top tier. So there's that. There's a few tier 6s we can go after. Let's get into it and see what happens with our newly improved secondary range. Guess we have worse concealment, though, because I don't have double concealment inspirations on AL Bismarck. Got 11.1, 9 km secondary range. 2 kilometer window between the detect and the maximum range of the secondaries. It's alright, I suppose. Let this Bismarck go this way. We're gonna head this way out to the flank of the map. It's probably the best place for a cruiser to go, but there are CVs in this game, so if the CV decides to focus me, it might be a pretty short game. I do think this ship is quite fun on PC. I think it will be quite fun in this game. However, I think it is going to be difficult for the majority of players to obtain. I cannot even obtain it, and I don't think I'll be able to before it leaves the store. Hopefully it'll come back in the future in some capacity as a global XP or a steel ship or something. But for now, the only way to get it is through the crafting event. I'm going to put some of these 10 km torpedoes down this way in case Flandre turns in, which I believe he might. But we'll give his broadside a shot here. I did think these guns were a little bit more accurate than you might expect German battleship guns to be on PC. And Citadel from the Kansas all the way across the map. That's nice. I didn't think the Turtleback would be all that effective, and to be fair, Turtleback's not supposed to be effective at range. So that's expected, but that hurt. And we probably don't want to give that much broadside to Kansas. And my torpedo plan might have worked if Flandre did turn in. There's a Citadel. This thing is certainly a menace to other cruisers, but well, that time it wasn't as catastrophic. I'd like to get in and get these secondaries going, but that Kansas, I'll tell you, it's a spooky thing. Can we get broadside of Flandre? Maybe. Maybe. Is that a Malfi playing the game? Yeah. Reload boost. Torpedoes. It's Lion game. There we go. Some overpens from Flandre. Armor on this thing, doing its work. But are we ever going to get the opportunity to push in and use the secondaries? Maybe against Kansas if we can make it a 1v1. But we're going to have to push back that way. It's kind of another game where not much is going to happen, I feel like. Guns on this side. We'll continue pushing forward. Actually, Kansas is for sure going to go down. We just lost spot of him, but he doesn't have a lot of HP left. There he is. See? And he's kiting away, so... This Amalfi, though. I'll tell you what, this guy is going to go forward, certainly, right? I'm going to wait for him to commit to that. Hopefully that was enough lead. Maybe it was too much, actually. And we did get a hit, at least. Kansas is probably... Oh, no, maybe he doesn't have line of sight of me anymore. There's the CV. I'd love to hit that. Push in a little bit. I want to get these secondaries to work. I don't think I'm going to have time to play a third game this morning. I will, of course, play this ship a little bit more extensively and get a more formal review before it's removed from my port. This is just first impressions for today before I go to work, essentially. Maybe we can finally get these secondaries on target. I'm not going to shoot yet. Nelson will spot us at 11.1. Hopefully he continues to push in so we can finally see these secondaries in action. Or Friesland. Friesland would work. He'd be a good candidate for them. Great, he's gonna smoke up. We already saw what happens if we get lit on fire a bunch of times. Things do not go well for us. Almost in the secondary range of Nelson. Only thing is, I don't have any secondary mod. Maybe one of these torps hits King George. Nope, ran out of juice, of course. Now we're in secondary range, though. Come on. Let's see him. Let's see those secondaries, Schill. At least we got some good torpedo angles. Citadel, even. That's good. Can we do that again? I don't know if it's worth building into the secondaries. I think the torpedoes and the main guns are probably about all you need, and if you're in a situation like this, it is going to be difficult to push into all these ships and stay alive. I mean, the thing's heavily armored, but obviously sustained focus fire from a number of ships is not going to be good, particularly when they're all shooting HE, because as heavily armored as the thing is, it doesn't have a lot of plating that will shatter HE. I think HE can pen it in a lot of places, especially if it's coming from battleships. The deck, the bow, all that stuff. Jeez, we're about to be on our last heal. I think we're gonna lose this game too, actually. CV's coming in. Or maybe that's a hybrid battleship. It's probably the CV. I think we're about to be dead. Get the secondaries shooting at King George again. We've only got, what, 12 hits? Probably building into the secondaries doesn't make much sense for this boat. King George we won't be citadeling, I can tell you that. His citadel's hidden underwater. Friesland. Yeah, at least we are, at least we're blocking some shells with the armor. But we're dead now, for sure. Yeah, that's it. See if our torpedoes maybe hit. I think he's accelerated too much, but He does look like he's going to go down. Maybe we can still win this game. Do we got a fire burning on him because of the secondaries? At least there's that. Only 19 hits, though. And he is slowing down. He's slowing down enough that I think we get... It's just a flesh wound. Yep. That's nice. 77,000 damage. I can't remember what the total was from the first game, but not that impressive. Unfortunately, I don't have more time left in the day to play a third game, so that'll probably conclude the first impressions here with this mediocre loss and mediocre victory to begin with. And I don't know. I mean, the Schill could be an interesting ship. I'm going to have to play it more extensively and try to come back with a formal review later on this week. This is, again, just first impressions with live gameplay as I'm doing the commentary, but certainly an interesting ship. Not too much like it, especially for German cruisers with the reload booster. The 10 km torpedoes are nice. Secondaries probably aren't worth building into, so I think we're going to go with a more standard cruiser build and have a little bit more success that way. We are going to lose this game, though. No doubt about it. I mean, this Leon is full health, I guess, so theoretically he could pull out a miracle, especially since this guy's going to go down and we got this cruiser. This cruiser could take care of the Friesland, but I have this feeling that Leon is not going to... Well, actually, he could. He could win this whole thing. I don't know what he's been doing this entire game. The CV's dropping him now, but the battleship over there is dead. Shores has a radar, so he should kill the Friesland. Friesland might kill him. Why are you torpedoing it? Why are you not shooting your guns? What the heck? Well, okay. Now Friesland's out of the... I don't get it. You radar him, and you don't shoot your guns. Instead, you waste time launching torpedoes, which is enough time for him to sink you, and now we lose. Well, can't complain too much. We did go down. We didn't really contribute anything of value to this match with the Schill. So we can't complain too much, but that's it. Friesland's going to take the cap. It doesn't matter what Leon does now, even if he does sink the battleship and finds the CV, we still lose. So we'll wait for the results, and then we'll conclude the first impressions of the Schill. Well, the Leon did manage to sink the last battleship. He's not going to find the CV, and there's less than, well, 20 seconds left now, so we're going to lose. Does the Friesland cap out before we lose? Doesn't actually look like it. We're just going to lose due to lack of points at the end of the battle. So that's that for this match. See how we did on the leaderboard. Schill might be an interesting ship to go after, but obviously the expense is so high that I can't afford it. So I don't know if any of you out there will be able to. I'll be curious to know if you want to let me know in the comments. Not great results on there. Shores is number 1, but that is it for the first impressions on the Schill. Interesting ship. I'll play it more extensively this week, get a formal review up, but I hope you enjoyed the video for today. It's been a while since we did a first impressions video like this. I think maybe I ought to do them more often. Gives you a much more realistic picture, I guess, of the ship. Anyway, give the video a thumbs up, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.